Hello, any and all listeners who are out there. This is the first episode of the Project Dauntless podcast. I am Zach. I'm with Gaby and Ben.
Yay!
Hello.
And today we're going to be doing sort of our thoughts and opinions on VBT-9, VBT-10, sort of what we predict and what we're hoping for, and what we like about it. And
what we don't.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're also going to touch on some new reveals at the time of recording. It's the 8th of June. So we've just got some Grandgallop goodness and some other stuff. So we're going to talk about that. And then, I don't know, White Day in Zero, right? We'll talk about White Day and why it's a fun event to get suit skins.
Hey, man, have events but not have events.
Yeah, I mean, packs.
Just cashing them laps.
Yeah. I'm at to lap 15.
Oh man,
That's
that's
so you're on lap 15, I'm on lap 7.
strong
I'm just getting
flex.
good dice rolls. Anyway, let's start this off with VBT-9. So
VBT-9 claims.
Yeah, we got.
let's go. We've got Grand Blue. We've got Pale Moon, sort of twice. We've got 2 VRs of Pale Moon. We've got Dark Regulars. And what was the other plan?
Rokumo.
Fuck, Mukuro.
Right, there wasn't any off, so it's a fine.
Yeah, was it there? You don't know. The ninjas. Anyway, so I guess we'll go into the first one. Grand Blue.
yeah.
Just because it has already got reveals. We've got 7 Cs. 7 Cs is back with Grand Blue.
Nightmist is a VR.
Nightmist is a VR.
Nightmist is a triple.
Yeah, we got treasures.
We've got new markers, guys.
Yeah, treasures.
To be, hey, it's been a long time since we got a proper archetype revival.
Silverthorns. Funnily enough, Silverthorns was the sort of the first proper archetype revival
Was
we've
it?
got. Like really proper caring about the name archetype.
Oh no,
Starhawk?
Nubatama,
Stop.
Kujikiri Kongo.
No, well, that's less an archetype and more about one card.
This is upsetting.
No, it'll be Starhawk. It might be Starhawk.
Starhawk,
Starhawk is so small, so.
but to be fair, there's not a lot of 7 Cs. But this is a really 7. Well, it's really archetype based because 7 Cs so far are the only ones that use these new treasure markers.
Just mention the fact that the units they revived are the ones most notorious for the 7 Cs rush deck back in G format.
Oh.
PTSD, right?
Yeah, but now we don't stride.
I
so.
forgot about that. Legitimately forgot 7 Cs Rush was just this shit deck that just antied everything for a long time. We were a quick side note, because it's sort of when we were all sort of getting to know each other and meeting 2017 Springfest, where that topped.
Oh yeah, no, Australia, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So that was shitty to play.
But now it doesn't really get mass advantage until you get to grade 3 when you actually cash in your treasures.
It doesn't really gain advantage really at all. It's aggressive. The funny thing is, like, the deck incentivizes rushing, just like its old version in that sense, but it's for Nightmist's own skill. Treasure markers are just a threshold for what he offers.
It's an investment. You're building up your piggy bank
You're
with
building
treasures.
your hoard.
Yeah, your hoard.
Your booty.
And then when you get to Nightmist, if you got no booty, you got
Wait, so you're telling me Nightmist is a very nice guy when it comes to splitting the treasure. This is giving it to all his regards.
What's the anti of a kleptomaniac?
Nice boss.
Nice.
yeah. So wait,
You get it. He's just Oprah. He's just giving it to his audience.
so what is it? So we got if you've got what are the limits for the treasure tokens?
Oh, you can only have like one on each circle.
One on each circle, and then you have to every time a unit hits. So I think it was the grade 1, the grade 2.
All of them. All 8 awesome units.
Yeah.
Generate a token. I mean, marker.
In the Nightmist itself, continuous skill. If you haven't seen it, go to the wiki or whatever. If you haven't seen it, basically, for each treasure you have, or in each rearguard circle, you get an effect. If you have 1 or more, all rearguards of 7 Cs can attack and intercept from back row. Now,
Honestly, that skill is probably the most.
this is a protect deck.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
you can angel feather it. You just put your protect marker in the back row.
yeah, it really depends what
And it's just one. Just one treasure. And
Gets you that.
all of your rearguards have
It
that.
really is. It's more like depends your matchup. If you're versing something that you need a normal nullify, you have to go protect one.
Yeah, but like
But
if
you've
you're
got-
playing against something like
An XL deck.
like Narukami, for
Yeah.
example. Like Narukami, which only hits front row really, unless they're using support cards to hit to move back. Like you get good interceptors in your back row. Grade 1s already 10k shields.
Right to itself has intercept.
Which one?
Right to is a grade 1. It actually does have intercept.
Well, it's redundant. They all have intercept now. Thanks to treasure markers. And all attack and intercept from the back row.
Yeah, and it's just from back row.
No, that means they can intercept, but they have to have the intercept skill.
Yeah.
Right to having intercept actually doesn't matter.
So you would put the grade 2s in the back row because obviously you can hit for 14.
It doesn't really matter.
Well, also they're attacking from the
It's
back
more
row.
like basically, yes, your grade 2 is going to be put in the back row, but Rise to a grade 1 can fulfill the same role of intercepting from the back row.
But also this is a hard counter deck because the fact that it doesn't need to hit Vanguard to get a treasure marker. It can hit anything to get.
A lot of people didn't realize that initially.
So what you need to think is, I'm gonna rush 7 seeds. 7 seeds goes, okay, I'm gonna just keep swinging at your regards, and I'm building up my treasure, and then you're gonna regret it.
I mean, especially if they can
And you
pull
can't get rid of treasure markers either. Once they're there for
especially if somehow they can pull off Nightmist on first ride,
Mm.
which should not happen.
But now we got Samurai Spirits equivalents.
Yeah, the first skill I think is the most important because it's a big game changer because attacking from back row and intercepting opens a lot of strategies.
Yeah. And then
This-
the second, you might be thinking, back row, you don't get boost or anything. Well, don't worry. If you have 3 or more treasures, all units of 7 Cs in their name get plus 5,000 power.
This is both turns.
This is all the time.
No, it's
you
during your
get
turn.
all
During
effects
your
according to the number of treasure markers.
No, but here, during,
Oh shit, you're right. During your turn. My bad.
Yeah.
So it cannot be used defensively. We're not gonna just have extreme bulky rear guards. I don't need that because Angel does that already.
But at the same time, you could have your front row and back row filled with grade 2s and all attacking.
Yeah, I think the point is very much getting 3 treasure markers is reasonable. At 6 is the goal. 6 is the dream. Because once you get 6,
Well, 6 is the end goal.
yeah, it manages to get an auto skill that at the end of the battle that the Vanguard attacks, stand all your rear guards with 7 Cs. So you can get, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 attacks from rear guards?
Yeah, if you have
If you're actually just using each rear guard individually.
And hoping they don't get triggers as well.
So,
So
I mean, that's def at 5 damage, basically.
Mm.
Yeah.
Def by 1,000 cards.
it's like an Axel protect deck.
No. Well, a lot of decks have tried that in the past anyway. I wouldn't say it's... I would say it's the one that takes it to the most extreme currently, in a way.
I think the real thing holding this deck back is draw power.
Is that really true? You're part of Grand Blue, so you have a lot of cards that...
But it's not as efficient at superior calling the field as Cocytus.
Well-
Cocytus was a card where you're just like, I will have full field and not worry about my hand. My hand's just for guarding.
Well, we look at 7Cs just on its own basis. It cannot consistently use Ripple Banshee. It uses Greed Shade more to just...
Filter.
Greed Shade is always good.
Also, assuming you're running the grade 1, the 2 grade 1s, the 2 grade 2s, and Nightmist itself at 4 each, you only have 20.
Well, there's grade 0, which you consider 2 to 3 copies.
Yeah.
23, you have 10 slots left.
Yeah, you have 10 slots left, so that's stuff like Greed Shade, Cocytus, if you want a good second.
Maybe-
grade 3.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people say that because Nightrunner exists and you want to be on Nightmist for its skill, a lot of people feel that they should just play 4 grade 3s.
Yeah.
My opinion is that Cocytus is serviceable because his master rank is always useful.
Yeah.
Then there's a question of what will Nightmares do, and then you have Tommy the Ghosty Brothers who will probably search for your grade 3.
Yeah, so you pretty much... So if you're wondering, they probably won't get it off because it's 7 Cs exclusive. No, there's plenty of 7 Cs, and it's Grand Blue. They can get them back. They're not going away. They're just there.
I would just say that a lot of cards that were relevant with prior Grand Blue builds are not relevant with 7 Cs. Ripple Banshee, Skull Dragon, they're out in this case.
Mm.
But it's nice that Grand Blue gets a proper archetype as a side deck, and it looks good.
Yeah. I mean, and obviously having a character like Nightmist come back is also massive. Like
Number
the OG.
1 Grand Blue unit. Remember that. Not some ghosty. not Night Rose, not Kakaius.
Gaby and I, we wanted ghosties.
No, ghosties, yeah.
Yeah.
Nightmist.
Yeah.
For
True.
you, it's basically, as long as I get something that's not just Night Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got that in a really good form. But speaking of Night Rose, she is confirmed. She's the headline VR with, headline character, obviously VR, with Harry for Palmoon.
Remy Labyrinth forever.
Yep, Remy Labyrinth is coming back.
Well, not coming back.
Well, we don't know. Maybe.
Vanguard,
if anything could happen.
Imagine if they came back.
I mean, freaking Ultra is now Eska, apparently. Anything's a thing.
What I'm trying to get at is, do we reckon this is going to be just 7 Seas? You reckon they could have treasures in Night Rose?
No, I don't think so. I really think that treasures is the incentive to play Nightmist. It's his threshold to fill his skill.
Yeah.
They said themselves treasures would be linked to the Tripwire deck. So I'm going to believe them on that, really.
Maybe you could splash in Night Rose.
The question ultimately is, what will Night Rose herself do? Like, 7 Seas, as we said, does not produce advantage. So it would only make sense for Night Rose to be the more traditional Grand Blue unit, where she does produce advantage akin to Kakaius.
She was the versatile unit back then.
That's her GB2. In a way, it was a Ben deniography.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, she did open up a lot of, like, tricky combos, right? Like, there was the whole skeleton cannoneer, kill something during combat combo she could do, right?
End phase and Night Rose is a GB2 that just became better when G-Guys came out, and as things fleshed out. There's a reason why she actually superseded her own second form as the main Vanguard.
Yeah, but most units superseded, like...
No, as in, like, her second form
tried to replace the original. Oh, it didn't work.
The second form was more rearguard.
Oh, okay. Oh, but that's kind of like...
Big Belly.
Yeah, Big Belly. I was going to say...
That's first form.
Sharo to an extent, but Sharo was just like, I want it as both my Vanguard and my rearguard.
Yeah, like the only one I can think of is Gaia Devastate.
Yeah.
Not Gaia Devastate, Gaia Desperado.
Yeah, sorry, Gaia Desperado, it's a good point.
But
speaking of...
Oh, what? We're not doing that yet.
No. Sharo. He's back. My boy, my vampire boy, he's back. And he's got cool art. He's back with cool art. And given that we have Nightmist with like a list of different abilities, we've got Gallop with a list of abilities, we've got Rebellion with a list of abilities, Dantarian have a list. I really think given that Dark Irregulars has the resource of Soul, where it's very easy to count, they already have cards like, do you have like Death Anchor? 13 cards in Soul, you get this effect. I'm really expecting Sharo, and I'm sort of hoping Sharo has, if you have this amount of cards or more, get this. If you have this amount of cards or more, get this. If you have this large amount of cards in your Soul or more, get this really good effect, like what we just saw with Nightmist.
I mean, one thing we have to mention is that, well, we kind of skipped it with Grand Blue as well, but 2 cards got banned preemptively for those 2 respective clans. So one of them was Violence Ranger, who basically like discards cards. If you have I forgot Violence Ranger. It's the Frankenstein, remember? Hulk. It was unblockable, right?
Yeah, you discard, and then the grades you discard, you can't guard with.
The amount of cards you discard.
Yeah.
The equivalent cards. That card has to go if Night Rose can make damage really easy, I guess. As a hard leg, poor Rufus.
Yeah, it should have been just like locked to Brufus. Because even with Brufus, pulling it off it's not impossible, but it's not, you can't do it first. You can definitely do it on the second and third for sure. But it gave the opponent a chance to do something. So they're obviously future-proofing for Sharo, which means Sharo is probably going to have something that would be highly devastating if it had hard leg available to it.
Yeah, I remember.
But is it going to be so devastating that what do you reckon is a more devastating effect? A hard leg effect or an NLK effect?
Well, I don't know. They might have a multi-tacking Sharo.
The first was actually an NLK with hard leg, actually. It's just the amount of attacks.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, NLK with hard leg, I feel like was a bigger problem than
the reality is
hard leg being a thing.
The reality is hard leg complements so many skills anyways. It's more an indication of what Sharo itself is going to do. Sharo was known for guard restricting. Currently, Dark Irregular has not done guard restrict to the point where it is easy to max. They had Demon Eater, I think that's it.
Yeah,
But-
and that was a Soul Blast
10?
Yeah.
But pulling off hard leg is you need 3. So Emblem Master or Brufus were the key to getting hard leg off.
Hey man, Emblem Master's $10 for a reason right now.
Yeah.
And there's no way they're going to get rid of something like Emblem Master. That card is just, it's in this amazing slot.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It is a perfect grade 2. for
That is a
lane.
card that, like, I'm not gonna brag with, like, I'm technically bragging, but when that card was $1, man, like on the debut release, I bought up every copy. Because I looked at the card and just said, that thing, that's a staple. That is staple.
There is
I
just,
had 28 copies.
Because literally, it's like, oh, do you need countercharge? Soul charge the grade 1. Now you can countercharge. Oh, do you need grade 3s in Soul? Hey, Soul charge grade 3s. What do you need in Soul? We got it.
then you have Brufus as well, which is just like, hey, search your entire deck, basically draw 1, and then, oh, hey, you get the Soul Charge as well.
I think Emblem Master was just turbo. It just turbos into everything. It's like, oh, you need 10 cards in Soul and all this stuff. So
I remember the first time I saw it in action, I think it was you, Gaby, playing it, and I hadn't updated my deck. I was still running like Dantarian, some crap. And
hey, Dentarian's good.
don't lie.
Hey, I think Dantarian.
Don't lie. Dantarian was not good.
Dantarian is good when it goes off. With Emblem Master helping it.
Yeah. But like, yeah, okay. So I knew what Brufus did. I had no idea what Emblem Master did. I don't know why, but I feel like Emblem Master really got shadowed from like how good it was. I think just because it was in a set with Mordred, it was in a set with, Brufus and stuff. There was some really new, powerful cards that came out in that set.
I mean, I guess how I put Emblem Master was just very different than everyone else. Because when I saw Emblem Master, it just went.
And it gets guard
What
and
the
power
hell?
as well.
It's a Garda. It's an attacker. It does a little bit of everything.
Awesome.
But I remember you were playing that deck, and I saw it work, and I was like, "Holy shit! You can NLK so quickly now, ridiculously quick." Because when I first played that deck, I played on debut, and I was like, "Gwyn sucks. This sucks. This all fucking sucks."
I think it was okay.
3 turns in, now I can NLK. Now it's like, oh yeah, if I push hard enough, first turn
You
NLK.
say like you're the only DI player here. He knows the feeling as well.
Well, yeah, I know, but he's better
No,
than I am.
I think I tend to over soul charge because I'm naturally an Amon player. So it's kind of like back in G format when we got that final form of Amon, all my dreams came true. Double
I'm a
my
Sharo
soul.
player. And to get it back on topic, Sharo, I really hope has. I feel like just the whole list like a thing leads credence to a lot of design freedom, where you can have some really good effects that don't, if you work hard enough, they might be devastating to the game, but you have to work hard at them, and I think that just gives a lot of freedom.
So what are you hoping for? Are you hoping for a more offensive guard restrict Sharo, or are you hoping for a more
Some form of guard.
versatile, kind of like a Harry of Sharos?
Not necessarily. I'm thinking more like Barlam. How Barlam sort of gave this general guard restrict to whole. Not necessarily Barlam where it stops grade 0s. I feel like stopping grade 0s is too good. But if it did something like Rebellion, which it lowered the opponent's shield value, I could see that happening for all your attacks. That'd be sweet. But if you did that with conjunction with hard leg, I have to guard with minimum 3. Shit, my 3 is down by 5k.
Yeah, really?
That's bullshit. Like,
Guard restricts themselves are actually not really about how they impact powerful shields. It's that they force you to guard with more than you should.
yeah, but if you're also then reducing that shield, that's just no fun.
Well,
This become unguardable.
that's if your power is that massive.
See, I find hard leg would be more of a nuisance when multi-attacking. Because you don't care about your guards' powers. You're hitting for 5k guards, but you're making them discard 3 cards for each. So even if they're they'll still be overguarding. I think lowering the guard power, like the Chronofang decks, I'd rather think it's more likely going to be a multi-attack deck.
Well, I'm just hoping it's going to be something similar to what we see with Grandgallop, which we'll discuss later, but I want a bit of power, because I still think DI rearguards, unless they're...
Oh, DI is always known for power, so you need to have power.
Yeah, so you need to have a bit of power thrown in there. I would like guard restrict like they had And honestly, I'm fine with just that.
I honestly think it's unpredictable because Sharo in his whole tenure throughout Olajiro,
Changed.
he did everything in the end.
Yeah, so yeah, he can just do anything.
God knows what he's gonna do.
Can we just every effect? Just put every effect on Sharo.
Every Sharo effect that it's ever had.
Also,
Oh my God.
also, legitimate question. This is a legitimate question. They're getting Sharo back. And back assassin for the starter?
Yes.
PTSD?
I mean, if Enigmatic's a starter, I don't care because it's a starter. But if Enigmatic is a grade 0 effect card,
no.
not necessarily that it has an Enigmatic skill. I think the Enigmatic skill, Bushy Road, and the player base has just been like, hey, this is too strong.
That's very versatile.
Especially with No Life King in standard, that would just...
Exactly. So then you have, So if it had an effect, which was like, some sort of gave something guard restrict, or it gave a unit power or something, I could see that. I can see the opposite where it puts itself in soul and gives it something power if there's X amount in soul.
I mean, ultimately,
it opposites itself.
Ultimately, it's a start. It's just a style choice.
Yeah.
And
or like a axe. If it was an axe skill, you have to do, obviously, main phase. And it called itself out from soul, that's more balanced. I can see that. Doing. It's like, hey, it's still assassin, it still calls itself out and gives power for X amount of soul, but you can't do it in combat. I think that's way more balanced.
Anyway, I think that's enough on Dr. Regular.
Yeah.
Because technically we skipped Pale Moon. They had cover clan dude.
I don't care about Pale Moon, baby. Okay, yeah. So Harry and Lucia,
Venus.
Oh.
I think you were a bit outnumbered. 2 Darky regular players.
I don't like Pale Moon. No one can know that.
All right, Pale Moon doesn't exist.
Yeah, okay, so...
what's the other clan?
Shut up. We got to cover it.
Okay, so Venus is coming back. More support for Silver Thorns. I mean, we mentioned this at the very beginning.
They are the archetype, technically.
Yeah, they are the deck which has the most sub-clan identity of these series.
Base.
Yeah.
They were even hit by the ban list.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not. We've talked about it before. I'm not a fan of the old Venus. I thought the old Venus was, I think, not gimmick, but skill wise, it was interesting. I just didn't like it.
It wasn't effective.
It was. I think I don't like it because it was a restriction I wish it never had. Like you have to call up to total of grade 6 or something. I was like, I really wish I could just get a grade 2, grade 3s I really want. And then a booster for them, but I can't. I have to get a grade 2, a grade 1, a grade 2, a grade 1. Fuck.
Well, it was reminiscent of the original Lucia in that sense.
Yeah, no, exactly. But the original Lucia just grabbed a bunch of shit.
Plus, to be honest, I don't think this was at the end of BC15, so over the rebirth Glendios. You could argue that Venus Lucia was just very free in giving you a mass board she would be too effective.
But again, back on what we've already discussed.
That was back then.
Lucia, current Lucia, calls field like crazy. Are we going to see this new one not really call so much as just power up the field, kind of Hugo style, just powering it up?
She has
I was expecting to be a little more selfish, like a Pale Moon boss card, somewhat similar to what was the dragon that came out? That was End of Stage. Like End of Stage didn't really care about, like it needed rear guards for its effect, but oh no, it didn't need rear guards for its effect. It needed no soul. Okay. So it didn't care about rear guards, which is very not Pale Moon. Pale Moon cares about its rear guards and cares about having soul. This was like, no soul and just me. I imagine Venus is like, here are my servants and they give me shit. Like if I have X amount of Silver Thorns, I get an ability.
So the funny thing is like, because
if the total grade of my Silver Thorns on field is 6, I get some cool abilities.
The funny thing is, we talk about Venus Lucia, like, both statements on her can be very much true because she got a Stride who was very selfish in a sense. She would count box one to give you like typical 1 unit, that's not much, and then she would soul charge one of your units on the field, eat it up, and then she would get a critical and such.
Yeah.
So she's been in both cases when she supported the field and she's been an aggressive unit on her own. Now, whether you think she was good, yeah.
I mean, the current Lucia supports field. I mean, it supports itself more, but it does support field, right? Well, it gives 3k to its front row and then 10k to itself.
OG Lucia, I think, was always about things like that.
Yeah, so I can see. Yeah, I personally, I feel like this would be your first ride. You build your field. The second ride is okay. I've got my field. Now I'm hammering home with this, this strong bang.
The question is, will Venus Lugia be able to close that hole that was left when Dorian got banned? Dorian was...
Well,
it's...
You didn't really play against it, did you?
I didn't play against it too much, but it's a whole new set coming out. It's got 2 VRs. We might see Dorian be... maybe Venus will have it, maybe Harry will have it, but we're probably going to see a decent replacement.
Dorian's advantage game was
following from like making the Vanguard the prime thing, so being greedy with the Vanguard, it could get extra jive checks, and that would help with hand.
That's a very easy way to do things in general.
What if it had like
that's just a quick solution.
Ezel-like skill where you look at the top, you look at the top 2. You add 1 to soul and put 1 from your soul to your trigger zone.
No, I don't know.
I mean, do you really want to step on Ezel's coattails?
I mean,
I guess
they're both Excel decks. Ezel, we're not seeing anything coming out of Gold Paladin for a while, and assumedly, following this train, it's going to go to Gurga.
Well, maybe Gold Paladin will get the second VR.
Mm.
It's possible. Ezel is Ezel.
Yeah, but they've done every iteration of Ezel.
What are you talking about? They're still missing the ultimate one, actually.
Which one?
Grand Ezel Scissors.
I thought they did. Oh no, they just did Ezel Scissors. They didn't get
Patina
okay.
Ezel.
Patina Ezel.
The Ezel route is still open. Although it would be kind of funny because Grand Ezel Scissors was made to defeat Lock.
Final set, dude. The final set is going to bring back Chaos Breaker, and it's going to bring back Scissors, and it's going to have Victor as well, and Thava. So we're going to have Resist Force. We're going to have the unlocking of Victor. We're going to have the unlocking of Scissors, and then this is Chaos Breaker. It's like I lock, but these 3 clans just immediately counter me. So fuck me.
Good old Chaos Breaker.
Yeah, okay. He's hanging in there. He's playing the
good guy, Chaos Breaker.
No.
Lugia as a deck already has a base to work from. She's proven to be a very successful deck in the past. She won Worlds, technically, last year and this year.
Yeah, I mean...
Honestly, I kind of don't want her to be successful because I did not enjoy versing Lugia like every single game.
But it really could take the Hugo route where now you've got full field superior call from original Lugia. We might get something that's like, let's add Shekivo kind of style power to the whole
but
field.
She already had high power, that's the thing.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Even worse, please. Right?
I mean, it's definitely a possibility.
She can stack the deck. She made front triggers easy because she produces a high power board. You can control how your deck motions. It was insulting.
Yeah, but I don't know, there's a lot of things it can do. But at the same time, how many of these things can we also apply to Harry?
But yeah, I was thinking Harry could very much be Magia, where all your read go straight back into Soul at the end of turn.
Harry...
I think, I said it before, I can imagine Harry actually having field interruption.
Yeah, field interruption, but I was thinking more of like, it's like an anti-control deck would be great because I think your reguards go out and back in. Yeah, the opponent really can't touch.
No, that is true. But Harry's most distinct quality was the fact that his field was always going in and out.
Yeah,
it was always that Magia, which is what Dorian offered to Pale Moon, and that's why Dorian Lugia was so successful. Actually, in a way.
Yeah,
worst.
So we might see that again, the play between Soul going in and out to the point where the opponent goes, I'm going to retire. Oh, never mind, they're all in your Soul.
The reality is that Harry did a lot of things back then as well, like power, multi-attack, control, resource management.
They can really go anywhere with all these G-era standard cards. They can literally go anywhere.
The more interesting about Harry is because Sylphons was such a focus in the last set of Pale Moon, and the other part went to Nightmare Dolls. I think the generic Pale Moon has not seen really any real support since the set before that. And that was End of Stage. And End of Stage was, let's be honest, not the most well received.
No, End of Stage, no. End of Stage wasn't well received. Antarium was pretty flat on delivery. What was the other?
Zanki got over. Zaki was walked on by his own triple rare Shiryu.
Yeah.
Radar was cool, but a lot of people didn't like the leaders, to be honest.
Yeah. So,
Gustbuster kind of was.
Why doesn't it have guard restrict? God should have guard restrict. Why doesn't it have guard restrict? Doesn't need guard restrict.
I mean, I don't think you really want guard restrict for that.
I mean, it got guard restrict in the end. It was at 5k grade 1 or something.
One, yeah, the one makes you go up to.
Yeah. There you go.
$20 promo.
Yeah, there we go.
It's exhausting, but yeah. So basically, for a long time, Pale Moon, the clan itself, hasn't really seen anything problem. And you could even argue that there's support from the last set that was generic Pale Moon wasn't that well received either.
I mean,
what will Harry do? Will Harry just power creep all of that?
well, I'm thinking like the new stride makes an XL circle. What if Harry made XL circles and could manipulate XL circles?
Wasn't in the press release.
What was in the press release for
Nothing in terms of actual information for this set.
Oh, okay. So we got more information about set 10 than we did about set 9.
Well, technically, set 9, the press release hinted at a triple red deck that used markers, which they immediately revealed. So that's worthless information to give us.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's kind of the same though with Ghidorah and the Cradle token.
Yeah, they have not. Probably not. So we're on Pale Moon, right?
Oh yeah, we're back. We're back. It's all good.
That's not specific. Either way,
delete it.
Picking Venus Wiki as a second VR, it's a good choice because people love the Queen.
Yeah, but this should have been reversed.
You know it can.
Yeah, but she's hotter.
Red hair, silver hair. Your choice. I personally prefer silver one.
Well, she's got hints of red and silver.
Okay.
What's the other clan that's in that set? Oh fuck, Murakumo. I keep on forgetting Murakumo.
Why do you keep forgetting
Everyone forgets Murakumo.
Because
you want
I feel
to.
like Murakumo should be in the next set.
Because
Because
Hyuga's just kind of made us all be like, what?
No, it's just
Yeah.
like keep thinking Murakumo's in set 10.
I mean, we haven't. Well, for all of us, there's a division between how we really like Murakumo. Actually,
Shadow Stitch life.
Yasue. Like, the common objective opinion is that Yasue and pretty much Murakumo throughout all of G era, even to its initial beginnings, was never successful. It was gimmicky at best, maybe clone stuff, but never really performed that well in tournaments.
It was a can do everything kind of deck.
I wouldn't even say that.
With drive check to regards, they're on 5 damage, I might as well just kill them now.
It did the whole Shiraku Buster gave rearguards drive checks. It had decent resource management, like there were various units which could help control resources. It was the first clan that did strides as rearguards. It did some cool shit.
Units that were fighting lock as well. It's like, you targeted this, back to deck.
It did so many things, but it just never really had that
popularity.
That, Victor had, for example, which Victor had, Nova Grappler's Victor had resource management. It had field, calling. It had, getting around stuff like lock and retire. But it just did that so unbelievably impactfully.
That was the last Victor, really.
Well, yeah, but that's the last Yasue didn't reach to the point of last Victor.
Good luck being Alexandros in the Destiny.
Yeah.
I don't think the Destiny is that good, but, he would jumped on that and I play Yasue Genma. That card it produces great results. You can do first strike kills, second strikes, just crit the whole board. That's a really good card.
Yeah, you can do some really cool stuff. Yeah.
But Yasue Genma was the last card. Now Yasue the whole way through. Murakumo can do a lot of things that had a lot of flair. It was all cool. But they were also easy to control as well. They were very vulnerable.
We kind of got rid of that, didn't we, with Standard? They're not so vulnerable.
Oh, well, we could always just cowbust an item.
Yeah, that's great. So I just don't play the game.
I mean, in a way, that was...
I hate the whole thing of the way we stop them is by denying them.
Yeah.
It's great. No one plays the game of Vanguard.
That started off with what Zambaku was kind of just no, give him 2 counterblast.
It is a legit strategy. Playing around them, sure. But I'm always of the opinion that sometimes the inevitable was going to happen anyways.
Yeah, I mean,
And
sometimes it is just like the most logical thing. It's like, well, resource denying them is what I need to do. Finally, enough, complaining that you can't play the game of Vanguard, like, they didn't let me get Zanbaku off. It's like, oh yeah, that actually just stops me from playing the game of Vanguard.
Regarding Murakumo instead, like, I do feel like they felt that cloning and what Murakumo was about in G-Era and before that was not something that people really liked. So they simplified it for standard. And it was easy because the first boss for standard was Zanbaku.
Yeah.
Whose mechanic was so well known and derived from the manga.
Yeah.
It had to be, you can't really ride. You can't really stand.
But it's not really cloning anymore. It's more like, I'm going to call whatever you not like, and now I'm going to do the Neo Nectar thing where everything changes name.
Neo Nectar doesn't even clone. They used to clone. The thing is, Bushiro realized that over time, cloning is not a very good mechanic compared to just straight up superior call.
Yeah.
They realized that. And even when they do cloning now, it's very convenient, like Million Rats, Axe Skill, easy advantage and such.
I feel like also the whole like cloning name thing, you know, it's like, yeah, it's kind of a cool little thing you can do, but is it really like how I want to play this deck? And I don't think it is. I feel like Yasue really put a pin in like what Murakumo players wanted to do. They wanted to, they wanted to do this cool thing where they could swap units in and out, get these attacks off, and it really was death by 1,000 cards. There was heaps of that, like, you're 11k, my rear guard, he's 11k, he's going to get in. Oh, you got a trigger? Cool. You know what this rear guard is? He's 16k, he still hits. That was how they sort of won. There's all these little attacks
that added up in the end.
Yeah, and like, cool, it's weak, I'll block it. It's like, you block it? Cool. Here's my ability. It goes off just because you've blocked it.
The problem is those abilities a lot of times lack the incentive and actual oomph.
Yeah, but by the end of G era, that deck just like, here's all my little abilities, they're all going off, and now I've got, I've got resources, I've got cards in hand, I've got units to Spirit Call.
It was a very reactive deck, as in for every situation.
It lacked the initiative.
Well, whatever it was, Murakumo, no one really played it anyways, so no one really thinks of it in this sense.
Do you reckon Yasue, this new Yasue, is going to bring it back?
I hope it brings it back, if only because I really don't like Murakumo instead to play.
But again, so it's a new unit. Are they going to have to try and compete with power creeping against Hyuga?
They have to compare it to anything. Hyuga's thinking out of the picture now, but Hyuga during its time was...
Come on, think about it. It's like, okay, we have to make a new unit for Murakumo, and it has to be better than Hyuga. And you're like,
or at least on par with Hyuga.
Then you get it. You start getting problems.
Yeah, if you're constantly just trying to one up the previous iteration, you get a lot of problems.
Hyuga.
It's different when like the previous iteration was bad, but like
when the previous iteration
Hyuga is perfectly serviceable card. If you make something on par with its power, that's good. If you make something slightly more powerful, that's good. If you have to try to make it so much more powerful, that's when you get a problem.
The thing is this, man, Hyuga's weaknesses aren't even really weaknesses when you think about it. They're normal inconveniences. Like,
yeah.
Oh, he needs 2 counterblast. How many decks need 2 counterblast, to be honest? Like,
not Vanquisher.
There are exceptions. There are exceptions, of course. And more so over time, it's becoming less and less of that. But that's not really a weakness. Hyuga, what did it do? Easy advantage, easy power up, use a Hyaki Vogue, insulting board wipe.
God.
Yeah, why?
Even has draw power. And then it's like Shiryuki. Shiryuki has to get banned so Hyuga lives.
It's also Excel, so it gets Excel too. More drawing.
Like, if it wasn't for the fact that Hyuga and Nuke came in the same set, I would honestly say Hyuga was the cause for the whole Axel broke the game thing. For that period of time.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like, having now played Gold Paladin, I don't think that really, the obvious, like, riding quickly is a problem, but the deck doesn't seem like it doesn't do what Narukami does, which is really take advantage of Excel circles by empowering them more. So like your attacks are constantly really, really good. It seemed to like, at least what I was playing, new to the deck, that it sort of called out a lot of little things, but neither one of them was particularly impactful.
Yeah, I think
it's a lot of little attacks.
I think they missed the mark on what they should be building for Excel decks. Like God Hand was a good example of what they should be building. It's a deck that when it goes off, it goes off. That's what an Excel deck should be. When it goes off, it goes off.
And it focused around something which is exclusively Excel, which is front triggers.
But that's what people didn't like about Excel before Excel 2.
It was inconsistent.
What? More like its output was really high when it really goes off, but it could also whiff.
But they were meant to be glass cannon. You can have defensive cannons, but like it would just. You can't have.
You can have defensive brass cannons.
Yeah, but you can't just have just everything hits for huge numbers and then suddenly with back when Dorian
I can't have that.
I said it.
In a competitive setting, really.
In a way that you can do it every turn.
In a competitive setting, it's not what
Pull my Vanquisher deck right now.
But I would say Hugo was the premier deck, alongside Lukia, really, that broke the idea of Excel decks with power. It alone made Excel 1 irrelevant because power game was just trivialized.
Oh yeah, I think that's definitely like
the draw
where the push for Narukami came from. They are just standing on the shoulders of previous Excel decks. Like there's no way Narukami got to where it would be now if it wasn't like, well, here's what the other Excel decks did. I guess let's give them Narukami.
You're talking about Vanquisher?
Well, yeah, like Narukami up until that point had selfish vanguards. Like Tectonics just cared about itself, and Gauntlet just cared about itself. Where Vanquisher is very much like
everyone gets power.
Everyone gets power. Here's how I help my entire deck, and I'm still fucking up my opponent.
Funny is right now we're still thinking about what decks will beat Vanquisher out. Vanquisher lives on a tenuous throne.
Oh yeah, no, it's going to be deposed very soon. I reckon. I can really see Yasue being the deck that just like, if they bring back the whole like target me, I get around that. That's going to be massive. That's a massive. Because the top decks right now are interruption decks. We've got Narukami, we've got Shadow Paladin, we've got Gear Chronicle.
And even if you count Murakumo still as one of the metas, it's got the board wipe.
Even if Murakumo came in under the radar and it was a straight anti-meta, like it was just, you can play the meta decks, but this one actually gets around a lot of them.
Whatever Yasue brings,
which is what Yasue kind of always did.
Whatever Yasue brings to the table, his past Retinue and Jira honestly opens up the mindset that anything's possible.
Yeah,
he's done things that just don't come out to your normal mind. Drive checks.
Well, not specifically him. His deck, like Murakumo, did things that came out of the woodwork. Yasue himself was always very much.
But it was centered around Yasue, anyways.
Yeah, Yasue was very much like calling out units, which I'd like to see. I'd like to see more targeted superior goal.
We're getting all these old G unit cards. It looks like they're trying to push away. So at the beginning of Standard, we saw the original cards come out with similar effects to their clan. Then they decide to go through a phase of let's make new cards with new effects, new like strange new mechanics. So that was Hyuga, that was
NLK.
Yeah, that was also Hanzo. Yeah, all these ones where you're like, okay, they're dealing with new mechanics, they're dealing with new ways of working with the decks, and now they're going to G units. Are they just going to completely just ignore everything? So we're going to get we got the new Ghidorah deck that has new tokens or new markers.
We might as well move on to VBT-10 now.
Yeah. So
VBT-10, that's.
But yeah,
if you guys like money,
yeah, are we just going to see now? Are we going to throw away the mill that Mega Colony built up?
Let's go into this slowly. So VBT-10, which I think is scheduled for an August Japanese release.
Yes, October. No.
August, I'm pretty sure it's August.
Yeah, but what set is coming out in
Silver Blaze
is D'Moonlight?
D'Moonlight is July for Japan.
That's October 2nd in English release is D'Moonlight. So that means Phantasmic hasn't been announced.
Yeah, it won't be for a while. But
probably December.
Yeah, Phantasmic like 10. It features not the Reckless Rampage bunch, the Destructive Raw bunch.
Yeah.
No, I want my Shiranui.
Tachikaze with Gaia Emperor as a main guy. Spike Brothers with Rising Nova.
Yeah, he's back.
You didn't even play Rising Nova.
No, I played him a little bit.
All right, you sucked with it.
Yeah, I had that deck for I think 2 weeks, and then realized I'm like most of the Vanguard community, I'm not a Spikes player, and sold it.
Spikes player, man. You're not actually the muscle bound players. You're the coach.
Yeah, you're not. It's the most deceiving thing. You know, Mecha Trainer, that's you. You're not Nova. You're not some big football star. You are that coach sitting on the sideline going, run, go, make the play. You're not the Vanguard in that situation.
We have May Colony with the also notorious Ghidorah. Why is it not a dark face? But she's a dark face.
Yeah, she's Darkface.
She's the dark face.
She is the dark face.
Yeah.
Former face is Scarface.
Yeah. She's the Scarface.
And then alongside the Destructive Raw team, we have Shadow Paladins.
Because you got to sell the set. You got to actually sell the set.
Yeah, no.
What was the original Spike Brothers? Nubatama and the original like technical
Tachikaze Spike Brothers.
Yeah,
Reckless Rampage.
Reckless Rampage, which didn't sell.
But it was one of the most perfect sets.
It was a great set, but it didn't sell for the longest time until like each of those until Shiranui came back. That set didn't sell, so they're like, well, we're not doing that again. Here's Luard.
Yeah.
And Bandmaster Overlord for even better measure.
Yeah. So when I said I hope you like money, I hope you liked having money.
Like, it's good for the market, so people who want those other free clans, there's like a lot of stock because people actually will buy the set for Shabbat. But it's also like the biggest slap in the face.
I think it's really good for players like Gaby. Because it's like, and you, because you play Tachikaze as well, like, there's going to be a lot of people who are just after the Shadow Paladin cards, and they're going to be like, well, I cracked all this trying to get Shadow Paladin stuff. I have a surplus of, Tachikaze, Spikes, Mega Colony that I'm not playing. I just want to get rid of it. Price goes.
It really actually depends on how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, it could end up that Luard and Overlord suck. And
Yeah.
Credora, Gaia, and fucking Rising Nova are really, really good.
Just destroy everything.
Yeah.
Still kind of a slap in the face in a way.
Yeah, it is very much just like, go with the special kids.
But then again,
You're the big brother, Luard and Overlord. Take care of your little special needs kids.
and again, the Shadow Paladin Tachikaze comparisons never ended. So
Yeah, I mean, Shadow Paladin Light, I believe is the term.
say that. So yeah, we already talked about Ghidorah, so I guess we might start with Mega Colony.
Yeah, so
She brings in the mechanic of a cradle marker.
yeah, we don't know it might spoon you. We don't know what it's going to do.
Tuck you in at night.
Yeah, it's cradle you, rock you to sleep.
You really want her to tuck you at night?
All those legs.
Well, she's a spider, so it'll probably be made out of web. I don't know. Is it a circle that we get, or are we going to put it on the opponent's circles?
A real question.
I'm under the impression that as we mentioned before, treasure markers in your circles. It would make sense for a clan like Mega Colony to put them on your opponent.
The thing about Mega Colony is, throughout all the standard, they've actually gone in no real set direction, actually. Like,
They've tried out a bunch of things.
They're all on the mindset of sabotage,
Hmm.
but they don't follow the same code completely. Spark Hercules, like, for many people, they consider it a whiff. It wasn't that great. I personally think it was a fun card. And Magic Points board. It was good offensively and defensively. They had Gunning Colia, which was mill the deck, gain advantage. In a way, the mill portion, like, they could not make it overpowered, but it can be a win con sometimes.
Yeah, if they overpowered that mill, it would be a bit too drastic.
Gunning Colia actually is a lot of opportunistic win cons that happen at the most random.
Yeah, it's like I won.
I never saw it coming.
Normally it's the opponent that doesn't see it coming. It's the player. The player goes, "Oh, look at that!"
Okay, I'll attack on my rear guard now. Oh no, I'm on 6. I lost.
Wait.
Oh,
I just realized. Stuff Millipede is a promo.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good promo.
Yeah, it's
And it's not getting reprinted.
yeah.
And Gordora's coming out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hope people have their Stuff Millipedes if they're playing Mega Colony.
Yeah, because think of it, it's a counter charge, it's a soul charge, and it's a stun.
Proper stun.
It's a pushed card. That's what it is.
Like, you get Mantis and Hornet as your reprints. Those need to get reprinted because they're both really good cards.
Yeah.
But Millipede. How much was it recently? $10, $15?
No, I think it was $5. It wasn't that expensive.
You got it for like $1 each.
Yeah.
Like Emblem Master, just get a chain.
Yeah, no one wanted it. Everyone's like, ugh.
Oh,
I have that
Ugh,
promo.
bugs.
Take this promo.
But yeah, whatever Ghidorah does, like the direction has not been set in stone because Mechaline has not been really like that in stone. If
Yeah.
she does what she did in G format, I would honestly say it's gonna be the most lopsided matchup against certain gifts. Like if you rush Force, you're just like, well, you better not put Force markers on every rearguard column, so I'm just gonna be like,
No, not that on.
and then it's like Axel, you're like, well, it's
Yeah.
not as effective, but
Got a way around. I feel like if what Zach said is true, and it's a marker that you put on the opponent. How many people are going to lose their markers when the opponent shuffles their deck and walks away? It's, it's like, good game, shuffle. My markers, please bring it back.
It's like, hey Judge, my opponent doesn't have enough cradle markers. That's because they're like across the entire tournament room.
Everyone has one.
Ghidorah ultimately, like, the only thing I can say most likely is she'll come with the original Dark Face in some form.
Yeah, like a triple red grade tree.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it very much follows the path. It's going to go stun. That's what Darkface did. Darkface stunned.
Actually,
Yeah.
I really gotta ask.
Even you look at the last phase of Ghidorah, the Stride Ghidorah, stun everything.
I really got to ask, Gaby, what are you getting out of this?
What I really gotta ask is, you don't like cards like Night Rose, which have like this waifu aspect, yet you like Ghidorah.
Ghidorah was pretty
You like Spunks,
badass. Ghidorah wasn't really waifu. Like, you'd be pretty messed up. Pretty messed up.
People have that mentality, surprisingly.
Oh, I worry.
So, what do you like about Ghidorah? She's a boss?
Yeah, and her skill was really fun to work with. It was just a fun deck to play. I didn't really go, you know what, let me just go to the bathroom for a quick moment. No, I didn't look at the card like that, you know? It's a spider.
I didn't crack an SP Ghidorah and instantly not.
Yeah, I didn't just go, you know, muy bueno.
Call me my opponent because I'm stunned.
Oh.
Okay, so moving from Mechaline, because I can't really go on much.
You go,
I
Gaia.
have,
Gaia?
we should do Spikes.
Oh, yeah, okay, Spikes.
Spikes. We have Rising Nova.
They said it's going to be the Masters of Force.
The Master of Force, which in a way,
They're Jedis.
that was the direction that they were kind of
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was the direction they were kind of going with Bull Spike.
Yeah.
Because Bull Spike could move your markers. Bull Spike's problem was in the end he's kind of slow.
It was, yeah, so maybe
Very
they're going to
slow,
generate
very
Force
slow.
faster and so manipulate Force faster.
One thing that Zach raised that was something that went through my mind as well that was interesting was maybe you just get both Force markers.
Yeah.
Which is like a legitimate way to, as they put it, master Force.
I would genuinely like to see like the Force markers actually just have a picture of the spike ball. So it looks like they're just passing the ball
Yeah,
around.
exactly.
That'd be brilliant.
That was cool.
I often thought like, and I think it came through a lot of people's head in the community that when Force 2 was announced, everyone was like, "Oh, this is Spike support. Spikes hit numbers, and this you just give them Force 2, and you just hit face." But it never really happened.
I mean, that's like the thing about the Force 2 strategy is like in a stand context, it works for like fast plays because you deal damage in one fell swoop if anything hits. But then it's like, how do you follow up on it? Whereas power just translates well throughout the whole game.
Yeah, exactly. So like, it's got to do it quicker.
Plus, the thing about
It's just too slow to always be on ride.
the thing about the destructive raw,
It's got to, it's got to do something like Genesis.
accelerate like that.
Yeah, Genesis is by far the master of Force in comparison.
Vanguard Force.
You can give it to rearguards.
Yeah, but that's really fun.
But that's mostly ride. You have to ride.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you're giving all your Force to Vanguard, and then lo and behold, your Vanguard suddenly moves Force markers.
Ask anyone about Genesis Valkyrian deck. They'll tell you that the rearguards hit like wet noodles until Phenomenus.
Yeah.
Phenomenus is a pretty damn card.
Yeah, and anyone that knows Spikes will tell you all their attacks are wet noodles, except for sometimes you get lucky.
No. Actually, they're instead the Major Russian always have casino power. The thing about Force 1 is having more power on top of power already is a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
And think about it, like Zach said, with Sharo and all this stuff, you're getting like Nightmist, you're getting cards that have multiple effects. So there's like, if you have this, if you have 1, if you have 3, if you have 5, maybe it could be if you have a Force 1, give it crit, or if you have a Force 2, your unit gets power.
Compensate.
So yeah.
Oh shit! So just
So basically,
I was thinking something like okay, so
then it doesn't have to be as complicated as adding more markers. It's more
I was thinking something like Grandgallop, which Grandgallop very simply it cares about crits, but it has it once per turn. Counterboss 1, give itself crit. I was just thinking Rising Nova would be like counterboss 1, give itself.
Yeah, you have all eyes on Grandgallop these days.
Yeah, it is. Because I think it's a really fun designed card.
Because it'd be fun.
But it's so easy to expand upon that kind of thing. Have a list of abilities and then have one static ability which helps fuel that.
I'll say
It's just an easy way to design cards in a versatile way.
I'll say one other thing. The reality is like the whole Destructive Roar team, the Free Clans, how they translate to standard is very much not like what they were in G format. Spy Brothers actually doesn't really multi-attack currently.
Yeah, no, exactly.
They don't really do what they did back then. So literally, if Rising Nova literally just did what Rising Nova did before, where it did attacks on open circles, it would literally bring something new for Spike Brothers in standard.
Literally, I'm playing Vanguard 0, looking at how Spikes plays in that. I'm just like, damn, this looks way better than it does in V-Series.
Skydiver.
V-Series.
Yeah.
I would always say that V-Series just looks extremely basic.
Yeah, it's just like, I was really expecting, because I've played that deck ones of times, and I've just, every time I played, I'm like, I'm really trying to get more than just 3 attacks a turn, and I'm kind of struggling here.
I'll be honest, actually, I really like Bull Spike Era. Like, it was a deck that impressed me more than it should have. But even I can say, like, it's not going to be a deck that's going to be really, really successful in the Sand landscape. And it's still not really Spikes as what they were before. But to be fair, Spikes as it was before was the clan that I would say literally none of us have a really good idea of how to play it.
But
yeah,
all I know is that I never wanted to verse it, because when it goes off, and there's really all you just see is a blur, and then you're like, I'm on 6 damage.
Bloody red.
How did that happen?
Bloody red. You know, of all the people to master Spike Brothers in our area, the Vietnamese guy who's probably in Vietnam.
Taking revenge in the West.
Yeah.
The whole thing is like he actually really likes Rising Nova.
Yeah, but he was also very good with Rising Nova.
So it's got a lot to rise up to. Get it? But
yeah,
Gaby's going to be removed from this podcast. Don't worry.
But yeah,
not again.
Brothers,
Not again.
we emphasize the points. You're the coach.
Yeah, you are just you're
Master of Force.
Like if
you're not the player.
If you came into this thinking that you're just a musclehead, it's actually
no. You can't. You can't muscle head it. You have to be tactical.
You'd be more muscle if you played Shadow, frankly.
Yeah. Speaking of,
hey, touchies.
I was about to say.
Yeah, touchies.
I was about to say. Speaking of,
are we gonna...
Shadow Paladin Light, Tachikaze.
Oh, God, Emperor. They said it would be they're just expanding gauge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna expand on Equip Gauge, or is it gonna be Engorge?
Engorge. I can't wait to get engorged.
The question really is, what will we really do with Equip Gauge? One way is that you can actually use it as a resource.
Because if you look at in Premium Collection or whatnot, you can see that they use is it 5 gauge to restand the Vanguard?
Yeah, sure.
We might get something like that in Standard, where you're actually using gauge as a cost, rather than using like
Counterboss or Assault
and pulling it back to the first touchy where where you had to get rid of gauge to deal them a damage. We might get this as a cost rather than what Anger Blader did, where it was more like having you need 3 to stand. You didn't really use the gauge. The gauge was more there to give you advantage. It wasn't there to be used as a cost.
Which was a good direction. It led Tachikaze to success.
Yeah. So they might go back to the route where actually maybe you should just be using them to pay. It's like you got Counterblast, Soul Blast, and Gauge.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Honestly, it's really hard to guess because Gauge has really nothing to do with what Guy Emperor had anything ever to do with anyways. So what they do with it is on them. I can honestly say you can accelerate Gage, but they've already kind of done that. You can make Gage into a more versatile resource, which, go ahead, might be very interesting, but...
You might get, again, like I was saying, a Tachikaze restanding Vanguard.
Like, what was the...
Dogma,
Yeah.
Dogma.
Basically, Guy Emperor does that. Sure. Make me another... Basically,
Guy already did restand.
Basically, I'm another Card Sword.
Yeah, kind of. But with Gage. So it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's just the opposite of Anger Blader in the sense.
Like,
yes.
remove X amount of Gage.
Because think about it. They kind of limited Anger Blader. Maybe they want to go. They're like, okay, this direction's not working. Let's go this way. Claret
you
Sword.
wouldn't limit Anger Blader.
Claret Sword's a brilliant. Yeah, I know, but like as development group, they then go, we don't want to develop something that's like Anger Blader.
Okay,
but thinking of Claret Sword's a brilliant deck. It's an absolutely amazing deck.
Like, well, it does have pieces to go off.
Yeah, and when it like restand and it's just very consistent at doing it.
Yes, it is. It is very consistent.
It's also extremely simple-minded.
Exactly. So you might get something like that, but because Tachikaze has Reguts that also use Gage as costs and Reguts that use Gage as superior cause.
See, the thing is, I can't say that's what I really want for Tachikaze. Because the Tachikaze I remember was a very resourceful clan that made the most of what it used.
But that's the thing. So you've got the grade 1 or the grade 2 that lets you call something from the Gage.
Well, I don't really see use, but yeah.
So you
have a unit that also added Gage to your hand?
Yes. The one that sold last Rex.
So you're gonna see, I feel, more Gage manipulation where it's not about how much Gage you have, more to do with what you do with the Gage you do have.
Yeah, I can see that. Like,
then it'll be a more complicated deck to use. Yes, so obviously it will make a lot of people not really be a fan of it. But
no one's a fan. Not many people are a fan of Tachikaze, except for the mad dazzle.
Yeah, but like more complicated doesn't mean it's gonna be worse. You can have a more complicated deck that suddenly shines.
I don't mind that. I've always thought of Tachikaze before Standard Era as one of the more nuanced decks to play. Mm-hmm. Like, when you really need to figure out the combos on the fly, get them perfectly right to get the most out of the deck. Guy Emperor for me is a very personal unit because when Guy Emperor came out in Jira, for me that was like the revival of Tachikaze. We can stand on our toes and say, we are a better clan than you. And you won't believe it, but we will beat you. But
I assume you're going to still have that grade 2.
Super Kanto? Honestly, the reality is, who would you rather die? Anger Blader or Super Kanto?
Yeah.
Super Kanto will always be relevant as long as he lives. Anger Blader, he's a boss card.
Yeah. But that grade 2 is just like, I can't attack it because it won't hit. Okay, let's try retiring it. Resist. Okay, well, I guess I'll just ignore it for now.
I don't even know what to say about Anger Blader. The funny thing about Anger Blader is like, it's technically a successful deck. Yeah, I don't really feel people always acknowledge that. They just look at it as that cancerous card that came out of nowhere and won Japanese regionals.
It was a very powerful deck, to be honest.
It was a very, well, people would say it's brain dead, which I guess it was, you know. But to be fair, that era, I would really say that if you're not using Lukia or Hyuga, better to have an Anger Blader than not to have an Anger Blader.
Yeah.
Well, that's Tachikaze, man. Dear to my heart. Guy Emperor, do me proud.
Yeah. Hopefully. And then now finally to Shadow Paladins.
Oh my god. Who do we cover first?
Hold on.
I say...
There we go. All right, we're back.
Should we cover Luard or PBO first?
I say let's go PBO. Let's get that out of the way, and then you get the Luard hype.
Yeah.
PBO, man.
So it's going to be cross-ride.
They confirmed that in the press release.
Yes.
Cross-ride Phantasmic Dragon. Phantasmic Dragon is out of the market, man. You can't get it anymore. You know the sad thing about Phantasmic Dragon is? English. Only releases in VR. It's like $50 if you want to get a single copy now, and it's just gone from the market. Japan? Phantasmic Dragon got reprinted in that start deck they released last year. 500 yen.
Oh, fuck.
They can get four PBDs for half the price it takes for us to get one.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
So it's like, if you have your PBDs, I guess you're happy. If you don't, well,
If you're like a lot of people who didn't keep it and sold it because you needed money to
I
buy
say-
your next set,
Yeah.
you got a problem.
I say just save your money and buy the numbered PBD, then you're fine, right?
No one sells those.
God. Oh, no one buys those.
Yeah, and there's even less of a reason to sell them.
I say Gaby promotes high rarity deck.
Doesn't have that AL4.
Gabby doesn't have a numbered PBD, so he is saying this.
Gaby doesn't play Shadow Paladin, so doesn't
Yeah, so
really
he's
care.
saying it genuinely. Like, he promotes this for the goodness of your...
Gabby will take every
So-
Fan Master Overlord to the face and survive.
Wow.
That's what he's hoping to do.
Sometimes you just gotta do it, you know?
Sometimes... this is
What do you
what
mean?
I do.
What do you mean? You see a Phantom Blaster Dragon, you take a Phantom Blaster Dragon. It's like, what's it gonna do? Double
Kill
crit
me?
you?
What's it gonna do? Kill me?
The thing is, it's like, okay, would they really make it a strip just in these Fan Master Dragon to function? Fan Master Dragon is a very old card now.
I'm thinking Phantom Blaster Overlord like the original Phantom Blaster Overlord, where it's like, if you have it in Soul, it might gain some more power. If you don't, it's still totally serviceable by itself. I think that's a smarter way to do it.
It just completely collapses. No, it needs it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that
It just doesn't work. Like, if you have Phantom Blaster in Soul, it gains these effects. If you don't, fuck you.
yeah,
one thing I have to
if you
ask.
don't, play Mordred. Go away.
One thing I have to ask.
Play Luard.
None of us really play Shadow Paladin throughout Standard Era. What is our opinion of Fan Master Dragon, the VR itself?
At the time, it was great.
What about now?
Mordred and Clarence. Oh,
Well, technically, those cards do different things on Fan Master Dragon.
you're right. One is...
I think people still tech Phantom Blaster Dragon in decks. It's still
Yeah.
like it's still a good board
did
wipe
they
for the
take that, or
opponent.
did they- I thought they took Gust Blaster over Phantom Blaster.
No, Ghostbuster needs Fan Master.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, they normally use Phantom Blaster if they even want to deal damage or board wipe.
The thing is, you find those
Yeah,
skills
yeah.
effective.
Yeah,
They're not exactly efficient costs.
it's a
simply.
good card to have. Why not?
I do admit, for me, Fan Master Dragon has a very iconic effect. I like the V era version because it really felt like an improvement of the original. Fan Master Overlord, though.
Didn't Overlord just do what Phantom Blaster Dragon did, just slightly better?
Rephrase that part. It did it
Differently.
you just changed the cost basically. So OG Fan Master Dragon, we're talking about in G era and original, was just Counter Blast 2, retire 3 rear guards, get 10,000 a crit. Obvious problem was I nullified.
Did it retire one of your opponents?
No, that's 0.
That is 0.
They had to buff it up in 0. Yeah. Fan Master Dragon has a very Fan Master Dragon and Fan Master Overlord can be summed up as cards that were expensive, not because they were good, but because people just wanted to be like the anime.
Angsty.
They were cool.
They were cool. Like you ask anyone about Fan Master Overlord, it's a shit card.
But it's cool.
It's freaking cool. That's what they'll say.
So what? We're just gonna see. What do you think we're gonna see? A Persona Blast?
Nah, that was the thing about Fan Master Overlord. So instead of like the retired free and Counter Blast 2, you Persona blasted a Fan Master Overlord, whoop-de freaking do, and you Counter Blast free for a critical and 10,000.
Mm.
Like,
So it retains your field.
it was in a way worse because the Counter Blast free.
Yeah.
Like, they're not successful. They're not successful cards. They had to remake Fan Master Dragon as a break ride to kind of bring Fan Master Overlord back in the spotlight, and that didn't even work out.
No, it's just so woefully inefficient. There's no reason you ever play.
What was Phantom Blaster always famous for? Retiring, power, and crit.
That's
Having
really,
a really
that's,
weird
it's brand
art.
In a way, Fan Master Overlord, if it doesn't get a crit, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
You honestly would be surprised.
No, it
Phantom
does.
Blaster-
It does get a crit. Just force 2. Done. If he's 11 screws you.
Phantom Blaster had that, so it was notorious for having that weird ass art where it's just like sitting to the side holding its little blade thing just going. That's all I knew it for. I never knew the skill. I never bothered to learn the skill because apparently I was just told it was bad. And now I've only sort of learnt it, and I've learnt it wrong through 0. I was like, oh, you sack 3 crit power and retire 1, right? No. You don't retire.
Honestly, the history of Shadow Paladin is something that, if covered, it's an interesting topic because it was not a successful clan on release. It really wasn't.
Yeah, but not a lot of clans back then were that successful.
No, the thing is, like, Shadow Paladin wasn't just that; it was woefully bad.
But
Like,
now
it wasn't definitely not worth the cost. Like, here's the thing: you can buy Mega Colony for probably a quarter of the price of Shadow Paladin, and it would win more than Shadow Paladin back then.
But it's not as cool.
Well,
At the end of the day, if it ain't cool, you ain't getting bitches. There's no point.
I think in Storm School.
I think the fact that Overlord is coming at the same time as Luard, we're going to see two different strategies. Overlord's going to be highly offensive like it was, while Luard's always been known for big hand.
Well, technically, Shadow Paladin in general
Well,
always
it's
tries
always
to
going for
Yeah.
more like
Luard was
superior
always,
calling,
superior calling and having
which we haven't seen from Shadow Paladin.
and having a fair
really.
amount of big hands. So I think Luard is very much going to be the defensive Shadow Paladin deck.
Another big question is,
Which is good, because that's what I liked when I was playing Shadow Paladin, because I played Luard. I really liked that it wasn't this super sack everything, go in, gung ho.
Ogma!
Ogma was different.
Ogma was
Drag Strider!
Ogma's cost. You could get everything refunded though.
Drag Strider, you could you couldn't recoup it, but it didn't sack everything.
Well, are you telling me you didn't throw away your 14 card hand?
If I was sure I was going to win, then yes. But like, Drag Abyss was like peak. That was like power, retire, awesome.
Yeah, and everything retired, draw.
You got draw, you had retire, you had power, you had
Recycling.
superior calling, you had recycling.
Oh,
That deck in the end was sick.
that's something to think about.
Recycling.
Yeah. Does Shadow Paladin have any recycling at the moment?
Currently, no.
Recycling is a very rare skill in general.
Are we gonna get
What clan has recycling?
Geek Chronicle?
Gramblow. Oh, I'm talking about recycling.
Gramblow,
Recycling
and
to, we're talking about recycling to deck.
Great
Very-
Nature?
Very, very few.
Great Nature?
Great
It's very
Nature,
specific.
Gear
Yeah.
Chronicle.
Grand Blue?
Don't overthink this, okay? But it's true, Luard did bring recycling.
Genesis, because you put Valkyrian back in the bottom.
Oh, right.
But think about it, that yeah, again, like Ben said, they're very specific cards that do specific skills.
Yeah.
Like that. However, Luard could be like, well, no, I'll just do it easily. Here, I'll recycle.
But a skill like recycling is very specific for it to be beneficial.
Like, no, it could be Luard's own skill. It doesn't have to be the archetype for Luard. It could be Luard's own skill, which is at the end of turn.
Wait. We're supposed to be talking about Fanmaster Overload. The thing about
We
Luard,
talked about Overlord. We talked about how it's probably shit.
the thing about Luard is they confirmed that its mechanic's going to be drag shift, so it'll turn into drag driver, like how Gear Chronicle does, like grade 3 to grade 4s.
Hmm.
And I was really hoping that it was going to be that it chrono jets and it does superior ride an Abyss Dragon from your deck. That's a cool way to do drag shift.
Okay,
It literally becomes a dragon.
okay, so but will it like digi de-evolve at the end? Or?
Yeah.
They did not specify that.
Are you
They-
going to be stuck in dragon form?
No, they merely said that Drag Driver will be a card that will ride on top of Drag Heart at some point.
So basically, you're playing the whole game as Luard, and then you finish as the dragon.
Basically, you go for your.
I can imagine a Valkyrian like thing.
No, but I know it might be a point where you're like, I transform to a dragon.
Basically,
This is the game.
no. Basically, this
Yeah.
Chronojet. Chronojet is a Digimon. Luard is a Pokemon.
Yeah,
He don't go back to what he was before.
He evolves.
it could just stay in that, and then now you're in this position where you're like, well, I guess there's no turning back now. Maybe Luard is a stall kind of game.
He's eternally a Charizard.
Maybe Luard is again.
Maybe like
Recycle-
a 20k base, something.
Luard could be very much a recycle stall deck, and then suddenly drag shift, and you changed everything into suddenly you're in overdrive where you're now just pumping, and hopefully
Imagine
pushing
if,
to win.
Luard was a double-sided card. Where you'd like flip it.
That would actually be genuinely cool. Like it's a deck that changes.
You like go to open your pack upside down, you see the art, and it's like, well, fucking money card, here's Luard.
But no, that would be very interesting to see a deck which changes gear in the game. So you're playing this game where you're playing like this Angel Feather-esque kind of deck where it's like, oh, just let me hit you, and then suddenly they're like, okay, hit me, and now you're trying to guard against something that's just swinging.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be brilliant because then suddenly it goes, full defense to, you know what? Nah, I don't need defense. Drag shift.
You stall. It's like a boxer. It's like
Yeah.
taking the hits, being defensive. Now I can
And then you
attack.
lose your shit. In other words, drag shift.
Yeah, you lose your shift
Yeah.
and you attack.
That would actually be really interesting.
That would be cool. That's a cool way to do that.
I've already had to differentiate the two cards from each other for them to be distinct. Like,
One defensive, one psycho.
maybe not even just that. Maybe Fan Blaster Overlord will actually be linking to archetypes now. I mean, blasters do exist, phantoms do exist, but they're so old, so maybe not the case because they're not very popular.
Yeah.
Whatever Luard brings, Luard will bring mostly the new stuff. Fan Blaster Overlord
Is going to work with what we've already got, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it looks cool, I guess.
Yeah.
That's old. That's Fan Blaster Overlord forever.
Well, to be honest, we could be completely wrong. Like, to be honest, Overlord could suddenly be
Chances
like...
are, we probably are.
Overlord suddenly is just like, never mind, Overlord, it was nice knowing you guys.
Overlord is just Overlord the X.
Also
and
remember-
just copies other phantoms.
Fan Blaster Overlord has that alternate art.
Yeah.
Well, his OG art.
Are we going to get numbered Overlords as well?
Oh, God.
Oh,
Oh, God. They might as well do that, to be honest.
Good times.
Just to be like, hey, remember what we did with Fan Blaster Dragon?
Yeah. Deja vu.
Also, poor Gus Blaster. Never got
so.
the chance to truly live.
Mm.
But yeah.
Should have had Guard District. Then he would have had a chance to live.
But yeah, man. Actually, now I think about it, this Shadow Battle's been in 5 sets now, I think. And 4 of those sets had a form of Phantom Blaster.
Yeah.
Man, we can never run away from it.
But it's, yeah.
Wait. Dragon's Vanity in a form of Phantom Blaster?
No, Dragon's Vanity did it. It was Classroom.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, now we have 4. If you include Phantom Blaster Overlord. Phantom Blaster Dragon, Dust Blaster, Mordred. Yeah. Never gonna leave that train. Oh, by the way, rest in peace, Raging Form Dragon.
Yeah.
Who? Rest in peace, Raging Form Dragon.
Raging Form. It's just kind of Claret Sword.
That's not that, man. He's not in this set. Probably never will be.
Oh, well, you never know.
Who's Raging Form Dragon?
What? How did you not know Revenger Raging Form Dragon?
Oh!
Restand.
Yes, okay, yes.
Why am I still alive?
Anyways, that's a lot of new stuff hinted away. So I guess we have to start talking about VBT-8's reveals.
Yeah.
Season.
Like,
What do we think the S is gonna be?
come on, man. Let's say that for another time. So
Gallop,
the first...
Sasano,
Well, we're talking more about Gallop because Gallop
I'm just
just
thinking
got
about the boss cards. Is Gallop, Sasano,
Grandgallop, Susanoo, Overlord DX, or the Cross,
he's not out yet. Well, Blade Master,
Blade Master
and-
Soen, and Harmonix Alter Ego Messiah.
Oh.
So, if you're not familiar with Gallop, it's pretty simple.
Dimension Police.
Dimension Police, Gallop. Well, sorry. Great Cosmic Hero, Grandgallop. Now, here's one of those list abilities that I was talking about through this entire podcast. Auto Vanguard. When it attacks, activate all of the following below according to the unit's critical.
Why critical?
Yeah. If you know DP at least, even the slightest bit, it's always been power. They've always cared about X amount of power.
It's actually not really that. Well, keep going for the skill.
Well, at least V-Series has been
Keep
power,
going for the
but
skill.
yeah. You have 2 or more. All of your front row rear guards get plus 5k until end of turn. You have 3 or more. All your front row rear guards get plus 10k until the end of turn. If you have 4 or more, all of your front row rear guards get plus 1 critical. Now, this also comes with another ability. Act once per turn, counterblast 1. This unit gets crit plus 1. So, at bare minimum, your
Always going to have
rear
2.
guards are always going to have at least 5k.
Okay, so at this point, I gotta ask, like, who here actually likes this card? You guys go first.
Yeah. If you couldn't tell, yeah.
It's going to work with reguards. They've already released a couple of reguards that are like, give Vanguard crit.
Well, I released 1.
So,
Why do you like it, Zach?
I like it just because, like, I've never been super into the whole DP. Here's everything just about my Vanguard. My Vanguard's my attack. Oh, you PG'd me. Okay, cool. Maybe I'll survive next turn to do it again. This is very much like, hey, I'm coming at you as a Vanguard with heaps of threat, but my rear guards are also just a big threats as well. Like, if you play this, obviously it's Force 2, then you add its axe skill. So basically every attack you do, your rear guards are plus 15k, which is insane. And you're playing Force 2, so you're making up for that lack of Force 1 power with just consistently getting plus 15k.
Because when DP is the strongest is when the opponent's on 4 damage, because they can't get to that 5 damage limit because everything has crit normally.
Okay, here's the problem with the whole 4 damage mentality. Grandgallop is a card that gets excess crit.
Yeah.
He's not thinking about 4 damage.
Exactly. Now he's thinking 3.
About
so
2 even.
Yeah. And it gives, if you go via the Force 2 route, you start giving all your rearguards crit plus crit. You now have 3 crit, 3 crit, 3 crit. They can't take any hits.
Yeah, and this is also a clan which has Platinum Ace, which gives itself power and critical. So all of a sudden your Platinum Ace is attacking. Let's assume your Platinum Ace has its own Force 2. It's got 2 crits as a base. Then Gallop is giving it plus 15k and another crit. So now it's 3 crits on a 25k base. Now, if your Gallop is 35,000? 30,000, which isn't that hard. If your Gallop is 30,000, it then gives itself another 10k and another crit. So your Platinum Ace is a 35k 4 crit. It's just another Gallop. It is just another Gallop in terms of equal power and crit threat.
And you're going to see a really, really strange game where it's damage control, but not really. Like, they're going to run out of counterblast if you only give them 3 counterblast because they can't take any hits now.
Yeah, exactly.
So
all of your things are an immediate threat you have. It's basically guard restrict, where it's like you restrict my ability to not guard.
On the matter of Gallop, I feel like if you really want to reveal the full of him, we're gonna have to talk about his support card in Grand Volva right now.
Yeah. So Grand Volva came out with him, and believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen,
he has no revolver.
He has no revolver. It's a true travesty, and he's a rare. These things are fucking rare. Interestingly enough, it's just rear guard. I nearly just realized that, but you'll quickly realize why it's just a rear guard. Okay. When placed, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, and this unit gets plus 10k until end of turn. You get that straight off the bat. But if Great Cosmic Hero Grandgallop is your Vanguard, draw a card. So straight there, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, plus 10k, draw a card. It's already pretty sweet. For a rare, it's fucking sick. But you draw a card and one of your Vanguards gets critical plus 1. He fuels Gallop. Which means Force 2, again, talking Force 2, you play this thing on a Force... Okay, whenever we say Force 2, we're always assuming Gallop has one. So, and I'm going to say, your second ride, whatever, there was a grade 3 called Blood Black, which superior ride. So chances are you're going to have 2 Force markers pretty easily. This thing is on your Force 2 marker as a rear guard. It comes down as a 10k. Its own skill. It goes up to being a 20k. It gives Gallop a crit, which means Gallop now has 3 crits. It has the one from Revolver, it has the one from the Force marker, it has the one it comes with just being a card. Which means when Gallop attacks, you're not even using Gallop's axe skill. When Gallop attacks, it's giving plus 15k and a crit to Revolver. So Revolver is now a 35k 3 crit attacker. That's insane. Use that in your front row. Platinum Ace, 35k, 4 crit. Gallop, 30, if you get it to 35k, 4 crit. Then you have Revolver, 35k, 3 crit.
Yeah,
that's 11 crits on your front row. That's insane.
This deck very much is incentivizing Force 2.
Yeah.
Because if you do go decide, maybe Force 1, let's try that out, right? And you're revolving around your own skills to give it crit, you're gonna find out you're gonna have a bad counterblast problem. Because I'm already seeing a lot of counterblast issues that you're gonna get. So Force 2 is the only way to kind of keep it consistent.
BTW. He does not have counter charge.
Yeah. So you're gonna need to go Force 2 to either lower this amount of counterblast you'll be wasting.
Exactly.
Well,
not to mention Grand Revolver. I'm fine not using Gallop's effect if Grand Revolver is getting Gallop's effect off and drawing me a card and giving itself power. It's insane. So
in essence, you'd actually be using this skill more than you'd actually be using Grandgallop's own skill to give itself crit.
It's a very sad day if you ride it. Because you're just like, damn, I really this is a rear guard.
So you're going to find counterblast is a real bad problem. Soul, I don't think so much.
Soul, okay.
Well, funnily enough, you do use a lot of Soul.
The reason
if you want to get that power threshold to get Platinum Ace off, you use Soul.
Theoretically, depending on how you view the length of the game, Soul is not necessarily a problem because Grandgallop himself doesn't use Soul. He doesn't need Soul. And if you're using Black, the assumption is you would be able to ride Gallop over him. So you have 4 Soul.
But also, it's kind of changed DP. We're no longer a grade 3 centric deck anymore.
You say that, but actually a lot of cards are supporting the grade 3 centric strategy.
Think about it. You can't run the extra drive grade 3. You can, but it really won't help you in
the timing is good.
Battles wasn't that good to begin with.
Yeah, and maybe you could run Great Dayusha if you wanted to, but
no,
you don't want to lose your power. Yeah.
Overall, I would say so. You guys have a positive reception on Grandgallop. That's very different.
But also, funnily enough, use Gallop. Is Great Dayusha the one superior rides from hand?
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to wish your power.
Gallop keeps. No, not usually. But Gallop keeps the power and crits it gives to its rear guards. It keeps.
Plus, it's not continuous.
Exactly. Which means you can just re-ride. You're fine.
So it gives 15k power.
That's a very greedy play.
No, doesn't it? Does it give the Great Dayusha 15k power?
No, it doesn't.
No, it's rear guards only.
Oh, okay.
It's a very greedy play, but it's a thing.
Yeah. God damn it. First ride, you go Blood Black. Then you do the superior ride into Gallop. Your second turn, you attack with Gallop, and then you do the superior ride from Great Dayusha.
Man, you have a really positive feeling on Grandgallop because for me,
I think for such minimal effort, it makes the deck go from just being, I just care about the Vanguard to now my Vanguard and rear guards are all.
My experience is so different because I've been overthinking Grandgallop so much because the thing is his type of skill, like you have to compare it not with just DP, but with other clans that have offered similar skills, which have come before him. You had Coral, which does a recycle and crit to front row as well. And she has mass power as well. Mm-hmm. She's taking the bosses. And then you have Altmar, who, when you think about it, he goes through less hoops than Grandgallop, but he gives 10,000 front row, 5,000 defense, and 5,000 is grade 2s, I mean, and critical to those grade 2s as well.
I don't even get critical to himself.
He doesn't crit himself.
Oh.
Well, check it out right now. I'm pretty sure Arrow Divine Knight is that case. Like, to be fair, this got delayed. So, can't really think all the time about card games. But it's basically like, in my opinion, Grandgallop, because he's come out at this period, other cards have done his job. And then you have to think about what advantages Grandgallop have over them. I could literally only think of one thing that it does better than those two decks. Possibly. It's faster.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Those units get critical. Fuck.
The only thing I could think of was Grandgallop is theoretically faster than him because he has no real restriction. He doesn't care if you're grade 3.
Then maybe that's the point.
Well, that's also the thing. That's his only incentive. That's the only thing he really has. And it's like his condition to pull off his full skill is not that easy because number one, it forces you to go into Force 2. That's limiting Grandgallop's power. Grandgallop, unlike Dialiner, doesn't get power. So with Force 2, assuming no special boost or whatever, he hits for 13k. He's a wet tissue.
No, he'll always have, if you Force 2, it'll always be 18k. Oh no,
Like,
yeah,
as a
rear
front row
guards.
rear guard.
Yeah,
I don't know why it was rear guards. Like,
it should have been all front row units.
especially because you're a force type.
Yeah.
So Grandgallop is like in that weird position where he doesn't hit hard, but he has to play force 2, and he has all the crits. But for crits to be scary, you need actual power and
Yeah, but here's the
threat.
thing, because of the timing of his effect, he's always the first attacker.
But hey,
So
That's
it doesn't-
restrictive as well.
But at the same time, having less power is less of a problem if you're the first card attacking.
again, that might be a thing.
And considering that all of your rear guards are now just as big a threats as Gallop, if not bigger, because they're gaining power and crits constantly, I mean,
You know that's actually more limiting because Twin Order exists, and his skill functions when he boosts a rear guard as well. So rather than being able to attack with your rear guards first to increase Grandgallop's power gain via Twin Order, you have to put Twin Order behind Grandgallop.
yeah.
It's actually extremely limiting. I don't know why it's not a continuous skill. Like, the only reason I could think of why it was an auto skill was because, I guess in Premium, you play Commander Laurel and you hope you hit, and then you do it again, which isn't going to happen.
You would just play like,
I think what it's
you
done.
play 12.
What it's done, it now makes all your front row units are rear guard. Are vanguards now. That's what you've done.
in terms of
But that's
power,
when you can pull off the
absolutely.
condition.
Yeah.
So, like, the thing is this. Grandgallop has crits. Crits are good when they hit. What's the point of crits on a Vanguard when...
So again, we might get power units because for right now, that's a rare.
Problem. DP slots are pretty much all gone now.
Really?
There's very little chance that
The
they'll
reason
get...
it's rare is because they ran out of rares.
There's very little chance that they'll get something that will, really break. And this is another thing, man. This is a conundrum that I really have to think of. Are you really playing Grandgallop for Grandgallop? Or are you playing Grandgallop for Grand Volvo? Because Grand Volvo is ridiculously good. That I can see.
Revolver makes that deck work. Without Revolver, that deck crumbles
But
very
here's
quickly.
the thing.
And the card you mentioned before is a promo without any English release.
It has to get an English release because it's part of a promo pack. The question is, when? That will impact Grandgallop's success in tournaments immediately.
Yeah.
So it's really just down to when it comes out. Twin Order is borderline essential now.
If you're not familiar with what Twin Order is, folks, it's very simple and very powerful effect. It is when it boosts doesn't boost to Vanguard, not rear guard specific. If it boosts, your Vanguard gets plus 10,000 for each force marker on your field. Effectively makes your Vanguard have all those force markers as Force 1 if you're using Force 2.
Twin Order is a great card.
It's an incredible card and makes your Vanguard hit that power threshold for Platinum Ace,
It could literally be in the set as like a double rare, honestly.
which I can imagine happening.
But so like the conundrum is Grandgallop Grandvolvo is really good. Grandvolvo's card quality he does so much for his one cost. Counterblast and Soul Blast, like, is worth everything. But then it's like Grandgallop himself he hits wet tissue numbers. His power gain when he gives support to his rear guards is nothing special. His critical gain to his rear guards is nothing special, really. He doesn't even...
but we got to remember the two cards I just gave examples of give themselves power.
Yeah, but here's another thing. Grandgallop's inability to reach the power threshold actually makes them
if we
fickle at
don't get
times.
that booster.
Are
And
we-
this is assuming we are playing.
Even with that booster, here's the thing, man.
But this is also assuming that we are playing Force 2. If you're playing Force 1, you're more likely to hit that power threshold.
But you're just going to
You're
burn through
If you're playing
counterblast.
Force 1,
Yeah.
that basically means that you're assuming I have Grandgallop and I have 2 Grandvolvos each turn.
No. If you go
There's
force,
a grade 1 that gives crit, doesn't it?
I think
Okay. You got to talk about that grade 1?
Oh, no.
Unfortunately, this is what the grade 1 says. At the end of the battle, it attacked or boosted. Retire
At the
it
end.
to give a crit. The timing is off. Plus, if you actually did use it before your Grandgallop attacks, say with Black, good job. Your Grandgallop hits for nothing.
can you Laurel?
See, Laurel, the thing about Laurel is this. He's taking the most consistent way of getting Grandgallop to go off, because he's an axe skill, but his condition is so high that you really question, is it worth it?
How many
Well-
units you have to rest?
Well-
4.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Hey, think about it. Do you really need to run crits now in this deck?
Not exactly.
Well, okay, so,
So can you just
with,
full
with
draws?
Well, yeah, you can.
Frankly speaking, you're only playing crits in this deck because Grand B is a crit.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is you could go 8 draw 4 crit 4 heals.
Sure.
And then now you've got a draw engine for your Laurel.
Sure, that's really more compensation. Here's another problem with Grandgallop. Like, unlike Dialina, who gain advantage, Grandgallop...
But remember, with Laurel, you're resting with 4 rear guards.
Exactly. To be fair, with drawing, you'll be able to use just regards and you can waste some because you're drawing a lot.
No, to be fair,
Yes.
resting 4 rear guards isn't that bad because you just rest your back row and 1 front row. You replace the front row unit immediately.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you worry about. But Commander Laurel is such a high cost just to pull off this one little skill. It's the Babe is really over. He still costs a Cow Blast. So no matter what, you're still stuck on this mentality of I need this much Cow Blast to really do anything.
Force 2 is a very conservative play where you want the game will go longer, but if you go Force 1, you've got a very short time. You have to kill them. You've got 2.
It is
2 to 3
is a Grandgallop that just gives your rear guards power. Is that enough?
With Force 1, you've got 2 to 3 turns to win the game. Otherwise, suddenly then the deck stalls.
I would say Grandgallop would be justifiable if he himself gained power.
Yeah, of
At
course.
least.
Of course it would be.
It's-
But then you have the premium conundrum where then you just run Old Law.
Would you?
Yeah, but Old Laurel's at 1. At 1.
Would you run? Would you run like the current DP power cards, like Grade 2 Soul Blast, give 5k to Vanguard?
You're actually running...
I was
you
testing those
do
out.
not run Die Dragon for Die Dragon, to be honest. You run Die Brave because he produces soul, but even that's... The thing is this, now that we've been talking about this, really thinking about it, you could actually not use Die Brave because if you're running Grandgallop as your second right, you have 4 soul that you work with freely, and you only really need 2 soul per turn. The game doesn't last that long, theoretically, then you're fine. But I guess you run Die Brave because it's filter and such. It's not a bad card to run. But, like, Grandgallop is just, in my opinion, just doesn't do enough to really justify its cost. It doesn't even make sense. It has so much crits, yet it doesn't have power. So much crit only works when you have power. You want an example of a card that has power and crit, like in that much amount? That's Blasto.
Yeah, it is very
And Grandgallop didn't even do that for some reason. I don't know why. The other thing is this. Why of all units is Grandgallop about crit? I'll tell you this from my experience playing Jira. I love Grandgallop as a deck back then. Best DP deck in my opinion, no matter what. Daikaiser, whatever. Grandgallop was better. Grandgallop was never about crit. Grandgallop was about I get drive checks for advantage. I get power. I can restand.
And
I'm bulky.
you have the defensive power, yeah, as well.
My rear guards are buffed.
Because weren't you what 13 base or something?
Last
like that?
one.
Yeah.
But then it's like this Grandgallop. It's nothing about what Grandgallop was. It's like, why is he about crits now? He was never about crits. He's about advantage and my friends are strong. I'm strong. We're a good team.
Yeah.
It's weird. In a way, Grandgallop, the way he's designed, he satisfies no one. He doesn't satisfy the DP player that didn't want Grandgallop because he's so awkward to use. He doesn't satisfy the Grandgallop player because he's not Grandgallop, really. It's not like Susanoo, where you look at Susanoo, you can immediately say, that is reminiscent of Susanoo in a way.
Yeah.
And it does more. Grandgallop is just... Look, all I can say about Grandgallop is I'm like one of the most ardent defenders of the card because I play it for Jira on chance. I freaking love the card. Like, it was a deck where when it goes off, it hits, you gain so much advantage, and your opponent just can't really guard it. Your opponents always say, I have a perfect guard. Okay, cool. Next turn, do you have a perfect guard?
But this is genuinely gonna be, in essence, a control deck. Because once you're on 3 damage, you're looking at a Grandgallop. Crit.
DP don't have the tools to be a control deck. They don't have your
He means a damage.
A damage control deck.
Well,
so you know you got games where you're like, 0 damage games. DP's gone from 0 damage games to I'll give you 3 damage, yes. But now that you're on 3, you can't take any more hits. You've got 3 counterblasts to work the entire game rather than 5.
The problem is more that basically
or
they've
4.
already...
Yeah.
Gaby, the problem is DP is already that kind of deck. Dialina exists.
Yeah, no, it's just what it's done is it's gone from Dialina, which is 4. When you're on 4 damage against DP, you're like, well, that's gonna have crit. That's gonna have crit. He's gonna drive trick a crit and put it on that one because that's what he does. It's going to be like to the point where, you can't take any of these hits. Even though they're weak, you still can't take any of them.
Then I'll tell you this.
You've gone from
more
4
insulting than like if
to
you just
3.
had like a little
I'll tell
like
you this actually.
25k with 4 crits.
So you would think that DP in people's mind would be about damage control like that. It turns out that ever since Vlad Black got revealed and Sin Buster got revealed, the common opinion now is more so that DP has become a multi-attack deck. Strange, right?
But okay,
DP can now do 6 attacks during the battle phase. You might find that odd, but that's actually the direction that a lot of players are going in.
Cool. You can take a bunch of those attacks. You can't take any of these attacks.
so the thing is, when you're versing a deck and suddenly it's like, do I give him counterblast? Do I not? Now you're like, you don't worry about that. You go, are you going to take the hit? Because do you want the counterblast that bad that you're going to risk dying for it?
I mean, that's been the case last time.
Now the opponent has to gamble whether they're going to even let a hit because they want to do something next turn. They don't want to be on no counterblast. They want to do something. So they're like, I have to take a hit. And now you just keep slapping them around to the point where you're whittling them down.
That's the thing. I just don't think this is really a step up from what DP was already.
Not really, but it's more. They've gone from power to crit.
It went from power, get a crit to get a crit.
Here's some power.
No, you don't get power.
Yeah, I mean, here's some
Your
power.
red guards get some power.
Here's some power. Some power.
It's such a weird direction. I'll still play Grandgallop.
It's honestly like Grandgallop is leaking its power and
I
crits.
want to make
its rear guards.
I really want to make Grandgallop work, but I'm skeptical.
You think it should have been more like I said, like the premium card where for every crit you get power.
Look, crits alone is not enough. Power needs to justify the crit. When your crit and your skills require you to actually take the route where you don't have power, that's a problem.
Yeah. But that being
It's a
said,
compromise.
that promo which will inevitably come out will solve that power problem.
It won't solve it. It will remedy the slight issues.
Well, I mean, it's the best you could ask for.
Grandgallop, ultimately, really, I can only say that it's faster, in a sense, than other decks when it goes off. Also, I can also say that you can easily control it as well, because it needs 2 counterblast per turn, technically. So Grandgallop is in that weird slot where, theoretically, it's fast. Will it really go off? God knows. Grandgallop has gone from consistent to pot shot. That's enough about Grandgallop.
Hell of a fucking pot shot. If your pot shot's a 12 gauge shotgun, it's 4 damage. 3 to 4 damage each attack. It's like, what are you? Are you playing Force? Yeah, I'm playing Force too. Okay. Attack you for 13. What? Yeah, 13 against 13. Okay. Well, I got 4 crits behind me. What have you got? A nullify. I'm not letting that go through.
Why would you even waste a nullify? You literally just go.
I wouldn't even do a 20k guard. I would be like, if you get 2 triggers, I'm dead. I'm just straight dead. No matter what they are.
That's
I'm
not making
dead.
it. How come DP is not getting a drive check plus skill in this set?
Dizaurus exists.
Dizaurus is no.
You can't use it in Gallop though.
You can, but only then one of your rear guards is actually a big threat.
Anyway, let's wrap it up with our Vanguard Zero experiences. We all played Vanguard Zero.
Yeah, this podcast's been going for a while.
I
have a complete DI deck, and I'm happy.
Yeah, complete DI deck for a long time. The new set is Awakening of Twin Blades.
Oh yeah, that too.
people's
Fuck,
cracks
Gaby
it.
has a complete Shadow Paladin deck, and he doesn't deserve it.
How many Shadow does he have?
So I've got 2 Nemains, 4 PBDs, 4 Overlords.
Doesn't deserve them.
I don't play Shadow Paladin.
Wait. Did you spend?
No, I literally use good old 10 IG packs, and then the 10 packs that you get for the new clan. And I've just been collecting tokens for ages. I haven't spent a single dime on this game. I've opened 45 packs, so 20 from what we've given, and then I had saved up a bunch from previous sets, which I didn't spend anything.
Wait a moment. Why are you even spending on this set?
Because I'm bored.
Next set's Great Nature.
Yeah, I've still got 20 packs that I've saved up.
What?
I've got 20 packs that I just haven't touched because I don't ever go below the 20 packs, like the ticket limit. But I spent I spent no money. Used 45 packs, and I've got 4 Overlords, 4 PVDs, 2 Nemains. So that's my Shadow Paladin. If I want more Nemains,
You don't need them.
okay, whatever. I've got 2 The Ends. So I'm like, Kaguro. I've got Majesty Lords done. That's finished. 4 Majesty Lords.
I got that as well.
4 Beast
Man,
Deities.
really? Wait, so you both have Shadow Paladin and Majesty Lord,
And Beast Deity.
and I'm stuck.
Well, I've only got 3 MLBs, and then I've got a 4th.
I pulled more Majesty Lord than anything else.
Wait, but the thing is, so you guys have 2 decks from that build, and I'm here stuck with a Duck Dictator deck.
I've got 3 The Ends as well.
What?
Yeah.
God damn it!
Yeah,
and I've got 2 Azura Dragons.
I was saying, I finished.
much-
And I got a Coco.
Did you spend?
I have spent money.
How much?
I've spent, I think in total, since I started playing it, about $80.
But for this set,
Oh, this set? Probably 40.
I just got potluck.
what the hell? So are you telling me that? Because I spent $17 for 1 pack, whatever. All I have to show for it is 4 Nemains. 4 Nemains.
I don't even run the main.
King of
I
Nemains.
bought booster packs. I used all my packs and such, and all I got is 4 Nemains. I'm like, I guess I'll play Dark Dictator as my main boss for
King
now.
of Nemains.
King of the main.
Dark Dictator, man, best Shadow Paladin. Costs no money, doesn't even use Counter Blast.
Yeah, I think
That's quite.
I got
I'm totally not jealous.
I got the Nova Grappler triple rare.
Yeah,
The only-
Azure Dragon.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I think it's a piece of shit.
Restand 2 Reguards, yay.
Yeah.
I have to really see if it's angry, actually.
But the only thing I don't have is
You should crack it.
I haven't finished the ends yet.
Actually, I do have an Azure Dragon.
I'm
But emphasize the
currently
word.
I'm currently building. I think I'm about 15 to 20 normal difficulty gems away from building my 4th.
To be honest, I'm completely ignoring Kagura. I've ignored
so was I.
I have
I wasn't interested.
so 3 Overlords, Alice and stuff like that. Whatever.
I have a playset of Alice. I've never touched Pale Moon. I have a playset
But-
of Alice.
And then to the ends, and I have zero Kagura PGs.
Actually, now I think about we're talking.
Because I just don't spend my medals on Kagura.
I did spend my medals on Kagura.
So
because I had the ends. I was
we're
like,
talking so much about cracks. Who here plays ranked?
Yeah, I play ranked.
You play ranked seriously?
Only a little bit.
Once a day to get the token. Pew pew.
I'm too lazy sometimes.
I play it mainly to surpass time.
Don't you have a PSA to announce?
PSA.
Yeah, for VP farmers.
Oh yeah. If you're gonna be a VP farmer, I respect the hustle. Get those packs. Do your shit. But I request
No heals.
no heals. Take them out of your deck. You're not trying to heal. Let's be honest. You want it to be over just as quick as I want it to be over. Take them out. Same vein. Take out your PGs. No one's impressed that you have a playset of Shadow Paladin PGs. Anyone can get them. Everyone earns Sentinel medals by earning VP, which is what you're doing. Take them out. No one cares.
Yeah, you get.
And don't have a ride chain. I don't care you have Tsukiyomi. I don't give a shit. I don't care that you have Galahad. No one cares.
Yeah.
Take them out.
It's just so annoying. You're there. You're like, okay, I'll VP farmer. Great. Okay. Grade 1. Interesting. You've made it harder for me. Oh, you've gone to grade 2 now.
I think the question is it that hard to just make a new deck list that just uses Prey Elementals, no nullifies, no heal triggers?
Just use Nova Grappler
That hard.
or
Nova Grappler
OTT.
OTT. They have 3K starters, which means a vanilla grade 1, even after you take damage, will still hit. You know what won't hit? Your fucking grade 2 Galahad, which you've just rode, and now I won't hit.
I've had times I've gotten so angry because I play Spike Brothers when I play ranked, and I'm like, okay, dang, I've got PGs in my hands, great. I've got no grade 1s that I want to call down. My Vanguard is 8K, and you're 9K. And you're VP farming. So why you gotta do this?
We're not against VP farmers. Just
Respect the hustle, and thank you for the free win, because it gets my rank up and I actually get a pack if I fucking level up, which I never do because I suck. But again, don't be a dick and attack I understand attacking the Vanguard, and if you crit me, that's fine. You're giving me counterballs to do more shit. You're giving me counterballs to my Phantom Blaster Dragon so I can hit you and kill you quicker, and we can both move on with our lives. Don't attack my fucking rear guard grade 2s.
Wait,
it's a dick move. It's a dick move, and some people do it.
No, what infuriates me, it always happens, is like, they don't ride. And I'm like, okay, they didn't ride. Battle, attack, crit. Oh, come on. Why are you going to do
I'm
that?
okay with that, because then I get counterblast to use. I'm just not okay with, okay, here we go. I've used my 2 counterblasts. Here comes Phantom Blaster Dragon. You're on 4. Here comes the win. Ching! PG. I'm just like, you motherfucker.
That's infuriating.
Okay. White Day. The event.
Yeah, just laps. Just do laps.
Just do laps. Just get those free dice by doing your VP farming, but do it responsibly. Get those dice, do your laps, get your free packs from that, get your random
But
cards.
slow down, it's double demerits.
You already got Ren.
I've already got the Ren one, but I got the insane luck with that. But I'm on lap 15. I don't know.
I'm on lap 6.
You get the free 1, 2, and 3 dice every day. Right?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
It's like I just didn't want it really.
Yeah.
So this is from the VP. That's how I get all my dice to do it.
It's not like I can really play Kagura.
I know. Again, another infuriating thing.
This is the way you can play your Kagura.
Again,
What
another
thing?
infuriating thing about this dungeon dice game. Right? It's
He's
like
sitting up, folks. He's sitting up.
I'm there and I'm like, okay, this lap, fever activates, quintuple, oh my lord, lands on every card space. Oh, come on.
Isn't that a good thing as well?
No.
I want to get points.
If you're quintuple, you're gonna be like, well, okay, I'm quintuple. Yeah, let's do this. Card, and not the 3 or the 2. One card, one card.
Overlord, the fucking rares.
No, not even. You get the ones, yeah.
The rares, yeah.
And then it's just like, but one, and you're there and you're like, why? Dude, 3. And what I find is infuriating, when you get to a certain number, they all disappear, and 1 stays. I got to, I think, there were 4 cards left that I needed to finish this lap for. This was for the Valentine's one. And I was on 5. I landed on a card. It went to 1. I had 4. They all disappeared except for 1 of them. And I was like, I can't do 4 laps of this just to finish this gibbet. And I have to land on it. Otherwise, it's another lap. So I was losing my mind after a while. I was like, I've done 4 unnecessary laps for no reason.
Oh, fuck. It's kind of cool to have like little free rewards, but at the same time...
Dungeon dice.
All this for Marshmallow Day.
Yeah, Marshmallow Day. Happy White Day, everyone.
Yeah.
For back in March.
June. Anyways, because that wraps it up.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
If you made it to the end, like,
pat yourself on the back.
We're pretty irate, aren't we?
If you pat yourself on the back, do yourself a favor. Go into the gacha, buy yourself this 50 premium gems, and just crack a pack.
Buy yourself a pack. Not on us, because
no, not on us.
Just go do your things.
Yeah.
You be you.
Hopefully you get a triple R, and if you do, let us know what you got. And if it's the end, we'll let Ben know
that he doesn't have one.
Yeah.
If it's in the main, then you can bond.
Yeah, if you get in the main and you've already got a playset in the main, send that to
uninstall game and
uninstall the game. Delete user and then start again.
Man, that look of the main is not what we forgot.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.